Welcome back here to the Mountain Morning Show. I'm really excited right now to be joined by Joel Racker. He's the president and CEO of Explore Utah Valley. He's here to highlight all of the fun activities and great things you can do down the Provo Canyon and down in Utah Valley as well. Joel, how are you doing this morning?
Very good. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for coming on. We appreciate it. And it's awesome because I think here in Park City, we're really blessed. We have two entry points to the Salt Lake Valley and to the Utah Valley as well. And it's an easy 20-40 minutes either way. So let's inspire some people to head down to the Utah Valley right now. What's so special about Utah Valley that you want to share?
Well, I want to say thank you for having me here.
Absolutely, of course.
I want to let your audience know also that I grew up in Weaver County, so I had to warm up to Utah County myself. You had to warm up to Utah County. Okay, because it always seemed like Utah County was the county we drove through to get down to St. George or Moab or wherever. It was just one of these counties you went through, and unless you had family there or you were visiting BYU or something, there wasn't really a reason to stay or to stop, and things have changed. If you haven't been to Utah Valley in the last 5-10 years, we want you to come explore Utah Valley and not drive through and wave, but actually stop and enjoy
say hi.
Exactly.
And you're totally right. I think in previous years, I think 10 years ago, someone would have drove by Utah Valley, and it's not like there wasn't anything there, but it was kind of not as modernized as it has become. And I think with Silicon Slopes and with a lot of things that have happened down there, as well as Utah's booming economy, it's really just taken off. And pretty much every time I go down there, it seems like there's some new project going up. There's some new building. There's some new business that is making Utah Valley its home. So obviously something special is happening down there.
It's the second largest population in the state. And very, very diverse economy. So unlike here in Park City where you have a chamber bureau that does the Chamber of Commerce and tourism development, we've got the Utah Valley Chamber of Commerce as well as other chambers, but we are the official destination marketing organization for the county.
Excellent.
We operate as a Chamber of Commerce in a sense that we're not part of government, but we're funded by the tax dollars. But we do have some really cool things. I mean, between the improvements that they've made at Sundance Mountain Resort with the zip line, one of the longest in the nation. If you haven't done it, it's a much different experience than the shorter zip lines that people do. You know, we've got cool things for folks that haven't seen what's happened with UVU. You know, we've got Utah Valley University, which is now the largest state university as far as population goes in the state.
And it's home to a lot of great concerts. I mean, last year was the Love Loud Festival, which was absolutely massive. We had a great time covering that event as well. So some really fun stuff happening over at Utah Valley University.
One thing, if people are down there and they're visiting the UVU campus, I'd highly recommend they go to the Roots of Knowledge, which are these like 26 panels of stained glass that really take you through the creation to modern day, and it just has all these little embedded things. It's a huge wall, and it's a wonderful thing to visit, especially if you haven't visited the campus. You know, we've got the 4th of July coming up, which is always a big time down there. We've got One Republic is going to be highlighted at the concert on Wednesday night next week.
That's awesome.
And I believe there's still tickets available. We've got you know, just a lot of different things between, like you say, the river. We've got the canyons, two scenic byways between Nebo Loop and the Alpine Loop. You know, wonderful golf product. We've got about 12 public golf courses down there.
12 public golf courses. Wow, that's amazing.
With Thanksgiving Point, which is a Johnny Miller designed. Thanksgiving Point is taken off. If you've got kids, we've got the Museum of Natural Curiosity. The Butterfly Biosphere is supposed to open first quarter of next year. The Dinosaur Museum. Just amazing things that families can do. The University Place, which was the old University Mall, is being developed, so there's a lot more attractions and park-like atmosphere there for people. All sorts of things for people to do.
That's great, yeah, and I love Thanksgiving Point. Their whole campus is really, really awesome. I mean, there's so much you can do. It's hard to fit anything into a day. You could almost spend a whole week there and really not explore everything you can. I've been down to the Ashton Gardens. It's a great time and a great place to enjoy, you know, a little picnic with the family if you want to hang out there as well. And some really world-class shopping, as you said, down in that area. Let's talk about some of the outdoor exploring opportunities, because I think one of the cool parts, and not just in Utah Valley, but we're blessed here in Utah to have access so close right to us, pretty much right in our backyards. We can head outdoors and have access to so many trails. You have a list of numerous trails here that are down there, as well as obviously the Provo Canyon. You can go and explore up there, and some great waterfalls and scenic.
Well, you've got access from so many different points, and the nice thing is that in Utah Valley, you've got this big, massive lake, and I want to give a plug to the lake this morning, because
absolutely.
we've gotten a little bit of press on it that there's these natural algae blooms that happen. Yep. I know we've had it up in the reservoirs in northern Utah. It's a natural phenomena. I had my staff there 2 days ago. We rented boats. We rented jet skis. We had paddle boards. It's 8 to 12 miles wide, 24 miles long. If you've ever been boating on any of the reservoirs and you just know how crowded they can get, you can own that lake and not hardly see another boat.
And that's so great. That's an opportunity that, I mean, when you're boating, it's so fun to be able to look out and not see a boat to your left, a boat to your right. You know, you get to kind of enjoy the day.
People don't understand that they have had a full court press the last 6-7 years to remove the carp. 82% of the carp screwing up the ecosystem have been removed from the lake. So the lake, the water quality is better than it's been in 30, 40 years.
Wow.
And so it really has made improvements. So again, you've got to take the health warnings seriously and stuff. They're isolated areas, but it's a massive lake. And I wanted to give it a plug because we've had really success with our lake. Again, as far as access and the trails, one of the fun hikes that I like to do, it's not for the faint of heart, but hiking to the top of Mount Timpanogos, 11,700 feet. About, depending if you take off from Sundance Mountain Resort or if you take off from the Timpanuki Trail in American Fork Canyon, it's roughly 8 or 9 miles each way. But talk about a cool hike, especially with the mountain flowers. I mean, I'm talking to mountain people here, so
yes.
But it's an incredible hike.
These are people that would love that hike. These are people that are like, oh, 9 miles, no problem. And like I said, like Timpanogos is beautiful. If you've never been up there, which I've luckily enough been able to go up Timpanogos, the view up there is amazing. As you said, the wildflowers right now are blooming. It's just quite a hike, and it's really beautiful. And plus, you get 2 really great access points, as you said.
Yep. Sundance,
you could even start the day there, maybe zip line a little bit, and then finish the day with a little bit of a hike up Timp. It's quite a long one, but maybe you could make that happen. Joel, I want to know a little bit about some of your favorite spots down in Utah Valley. Obviously, Utah Valley is a very expansive area. There's so much that you can do, but if you had to narrow it down to just a few, maybe hikes, restaurants, shopping, and other activities, what would you narrow that down to?
Just depending on how much time you have to explore. And that's exactly what we want people to do, is to come down and explore Utah Valley. But Rock Creek Canyon, which is a wonderful hike that is less visited. It's right above the Provo LDS Temple up on the hill above BYU. It's a great one. You have some great access there. You know, the South Fork of Provo Canyon is a wonderful place. My wife and me rode our bikes up the Provo River Trail, and she got one of those e-bikes so she could come do a little more climbing, and I'm having my struggles getting up the South Fork on my regular road bike. But there's just really a lot of, you know, the Alpine Loop is a great area to bike, and there's trails out there. Mountain biking is incredible there. You know, Tibble Fork Reservoir, a lot of people haven't visited that, but they increased the height of the reservoir, and they doubled the water surface a couple of years ago.
Oh, wow.
So now it is an incredible, and again, you come up past Timpanogos Cave National Monument, which is one of our most heavily visited tourist attractions during the summer, and then you go up to Tibble Fork Reservoir, and it's incredible. And then there's the Silver Flats Lake, there's the Upper Silver Flats Lake, great fishing, the blue ribbon fishery in the Provo River. Oftentimes people think of the Upper Provo, which is kind of going through Heber Valley.
Yes.
We've got an incredible
section
part of that down below, and with Deer Creek Reservoir, it's a consistent flow throughout the year, so you get this consistent product there for fishing. So, and Sundance is putting a lot of emphasis there. We love that the Sundance Film Festival's up here. We know there's a reason it's up here. My job is to get people to understand that there's actually a Sundance Mountain Resort.
Mountain Resort,
right? And come spend some time there. That's where a lot of this creativity and everything starts.
Well, it's the history of Sundance starts at Sundance Mountain Resort. It starts there. And some of the most famous names and iconic names in Hollywood history spent time at Sundance Resort, getting inspired by the scenery, getting inspired by, you know, just being up there. So definitely encourage you to make your way down there. It sounds like there's almost like an unlimited amount of things to do down in Utah Valley. So where can people go for more information or to find lists of things to do as well?
Well, you can go to exploreutahvalley.com.
Excellent.
And that's our website where we've got information from all of our partners, and you can stop by our visitor center, which is on 220 Center Street in Provo. Downtown Provo, we've got over 55 non-chain restaurants.
Wow.
Like 20 different ethnicities
wow.
of food. You know, it's a lot of, it's really something to experience if you come there on the, you know, any evening. It's busy with the restaurants. The music scene has always been big. We know Imagine Dragons, Neon Trees, they all came out of Provo. And so we hope people will give it a shot. They won't just drive through, they'll actually stop and explore for a little bit. And I think they'll be pleasantly surprised.
Well, Joel, thank you so much for coming on and spreading the word. Next time we're driving down that way, we're definitely not just going to pass by Utah Valley. Let's take some time and explore Utah Valley as well. You can head over to exploreutahvalley.com for more information. There's so much to do down there, so next time you're heading down that way, be sure and make a stop. You won't regret it, I promise you that. We'll be right back with much more right here on the Mountain Morning Show. Don't go anywhere.